Darby, Zlobs, and Mindy, the three of you are all driving down to Braintree because tomorrow you are all playing the Braintree Begonias. And, you know, every year for a very long time, there's been a traditional kind of pregame thing, celebration that the Begonias and the Sunflowers do. Now, last year, the game was in Somerville, so it was a home game for the Sunflowers. This year, it's in Braintree, meaning it's an away game. So, what is the pre-game tradition the night before the Sunflowers Begonias game?
It's called Find the Pine Cone. And it's kind of a hunt game with a pine cone. Whoever the home team is hides the pine cone somewhere around town, and everybody tries to find the pine cone.
It's a tremendous game. In a sense, it's almost like the real competition is Find the Pine Cone. You know, the amount of passion and the amount of passion and excitement for Find the Pine Cone is so high that usually whoever finds that pine cone carries at least an emotional advantage into the game the next day. So you're driving down. It's Friday night. The game is Saturday morning for the Find the Pine Cone. So you're all driving down in, of course, the math wagon. Mindy, that is, of course, your father, Mr. Mathers' car. Yes. And you're driving down to Braintree. And you're on I-93 South, the great big artery that leads south out of Boston. And the traffic is heavy. Mindy, Mindy, you have this little postcard in your hand from the city of Waltham in big, kind of colorful letters. You have yet to bring yourself to actually look at the back and read it.
Yeah, I haven't flipped it over.
You have not flipped it over. It was Mr. Mathers gave it to you face up. You have not turned it face down to read the back.
When did this arrive?
A couple of days after the whole dinosaur skeleton under Boston situation.
Oh, yes, the dinosaur skeleton under Boston situation. Okay, I'm trying to build up my confidence to read the back of the postcard.
Is Mindy holding it up?
Yeah, I'm holding it up and I'm looking at the picture.
I start narrating the back.
No.
So, Mindy, do you want to hear this or not?
Yeah.
Okay. It reads, "Hi, Mindy.
Hi, Mindy.
Thank you for the invitation to the game.
Thank you for the invitation to the game.
I could not attend because the Windflowers were playing their own game.
I could not attend because the Windflowers are playing their own game.
That makes sense.
Good luck this season.
Good luck this season.
Hope you don't crack like the glass you all are. Smiley face.
Hope you don't crack like the glass you all are. Right parenthesis. Oh, it's a smiley face.
Best.
Susie
Chen.
Susie Chen. It's very swoopy, the way she signed her name.
That was very nice of my friend Susie Chen to send me a postcard.
Yeah. So, audience, both new and old. Susie Chen is a very competitive player on the Waltham Windflowers, another Blittle League team. The Waltham Windflowers are a self-funded Blittle League team, and they self-fund through crime. So the relationship between the Sunflowers and the Windflowers took a very positive turn after they took down a rogue umpire together. But there are wheels within wheels. But in any event, all of you are thinking about and pondering this when the incredibly busy, heavy traffic slows from a crawl to a full stop just outside the South Bay Center Mall.
Huh.
Sea of brake lights, and you feel that kick of the math wagon as it comes to a complete stop.
Maybe I could just fly us each one at a time. Mr. Mathers, would you be upset if I just flew us? Because I know you've invested all this time in driving us already.
Oh, sure.
Oh, you seem sad.
No, it's fine. I'll just drive the car and meet you all there.
I'll ride with you, Dad.
Oh, you don't have to, but if you do, I am about to start the very exciting Find the Pinecone playlist.
Oh.
Well, we sure don't want to miss that.
It'll probably help us to find the pinecone.
Do you have
At around this moment, you start hearing the screams.
Wait.
Coming from ahead.
I ran out of the car.
You do. You get out of the car and start sprinting through the brake lights, and it does not take long to see what exactly is causing this enormous, immovable gridlock. Sitting in the middle of I-93, blocking all lanes of traffic in both directions, is the Fortress Storage Building. A huge gray cube with a giant inflatable lock hanging off of it with the Fortress phone number on it. Now, normally, that building would be about 100 feet that way, but something caused it to move from its current location onto the highway, apparently in the last couple of minutes. Zlobs, you see what's going on first. In front of you, in front of the Fortress building, above all of the traffic, you see a Blittle Leaguer wearing a Begonia's uniform, fighting a monster that I will describe as a garbage bag of screams.
Oh, hi, Iris! Iris, it's me, Zlobs! Are you okay? Do you need help?
I'm fighting a garbage bag!
Yeah, you are. I imagine those are bad screams, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Iris, I want you to describe to us what fighting a sentient garbage bag of screams look like. What does it look like when you are engaged in combat?
Sure. Well, it's very squishy, and it's kind of like if you were wrestling a bag pipe. So you squeeze it, and then you can get different screams, and that's fun. And it's bigger than me, and it used to be even bigger than me. But every time you punch it, one of the screams comes out, and it's fun, and they're different screams. But I don't think it would be great if they got all out. I think they might go somewhere.
Uh-oh.
But I'm not sure where.
Oh.
Yeah.
I mean,
so Iris,
okay.
this really is something of a chess match. It's not just you with your brass knuckles on pounding all the screams out of the garbage bag. You're trying to figure out how much of the scream density to release into the world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a pressure valve a little bit, right? Like a little screams won't hurt anybody, really. I don't think.
No, hopefully not.
But
Mindy,
I don't
Darby.
know why we're here.
Yeah, all of this, Iris, is actually pretty interesting. You don't have much more information than the sunflowers that are arriving by the moment. You, in point of fact, see Darby flying Mindy in right now on her brass wings. So the
Darby.
story, Iris.
Hi, Iris!
The story is, Iris, you just so happened to be in the area. You were, in point of fact, about to go into the Fortress storage building because you have a storage locker there. You were going to pick up something for the pre-game Find the Pinecone tradition, something that you kept in storage that you think would be perfect for the occasion. What was that thing you were actually coming here to pick up?
Tennis racket. It's really big, and if you, it has really sharp strings on it, so it makes the really best French fries. And if we hit the pine cone with it, then it would become lots of littler pine cones.
Oh, it's so smart.
Yeah, like
Then
a lot of
everybody could have one. Lots of us could find them. If it's only one big pine cone, then one kid gets to find it. But if I hit it with the tennis racket, it becomes lots of pine cones and lots of people get to find it, and everybody will be happy.
Yeah, and Iris has now, first and foremost, Darby, Mindy, Zlobs. Mm-hmm. Iris is a Braintree Begonia, not a Somerville sunflower, but
yes,
the three of you have each had positive experiences with Iris in the past. It's one of the great things about Blittle League, especially in the Boston Flowers corner, is with some notable exceptions, like the Waltham Windflowers that are literally a crime syndicate, all of the teams generally get along, and all of you as Blittle Leaguers are tasked with the same mission, which is protecting Boston from the magical and angelic and demonic and technological threats that could assail it. So all of you are competing against each other, but you're all united under a greater purpose. So all of you have kind of had very positive run-ins with Iris before. And despite the chaos of the situation, the fact that Iris is already here gives you some degree of comfort, which comfort is in short supply because, and I cannot stress this enough, an entire building has leapt off its foundation and dropped itself in the middle of I-93. Now, Iris, you were here for this. You were literally about to walk through the front door of Fortress when the building started to lurch from side to side, vibrate a little, shimmered out of existence, and then reappeared about 10 feet above I-93 and then dropped onto it. And the second that happened, it was definitely amazing. The front door of the place swung open, and a couple of vaguely horrifying things flew out. You were able to dispatch one of them, but another one was the aforementioned garbage bag full of screams. Mm-hmm. So you are currently, Iris, wrestling that one and kind of releasing the right amount of screams. What would all of you like to do?
Jump on it.
Sure, that sounds pretty good.
All right, hold it still, Iris.
I've got it. I'm up on the top, right? I'm up on the top of the building, and I have the big bag. Yeah.
Yeah, to keep the screams from impacting the immediate area.
Yeah,
Iris, you flew to the top of the building, which for you looks like a great big jump. And Zlobs, you kind of get the Darby elevator treatment up there, and you are dropped onto the bag. So let's have you roll 2d6 plus tough to kick some butt, and we'll see what happens.
Oh, we get a 5.
All right. So the great irony of this, of course, is that this bag of screams doesn't really conform to the traditional composition of an enemy. Like, it doesn't have arms or legs, and it kind of moves in strange, kind of herky-jerky fashion. Iris is trying to hold it steady, but, Darby is kind of essentially preparing to drop you like a bomb on it. And, Darby releases Zlobs, you go flying into this thing, and the bag itself kind of twists its mouth towards you, hits you with a scream, and you end up, you don't end up landing on the building. You end up being pushed off the building, and you slam through the hood of a car several feet below.
Ow.
You take 2 harm.
Oh, I'm fine.
You're fine. And get up, and oh my goodness, that is a tricky bag of screams.
Huh.
Who wants to go next?
I'm gonna chase down one of the screams that left. I kind of want to drop Zlobs back up there first. But I want to chase down one of the screams to see if I can soothe it, because I'm a little bit concerned about where they're going.
Yeah, that's entirely fair. So you kind of take a big bank down, pick up a remarkably unharmed Slobs, drop him back on top of the building where he and Iris get back to their fighting and tussling with the bag. Yeah, the screams have all kind of released in different directions, but all of them are starting to kind of conglomerate together and head towards downtown Boston. So they're moving much slower than you can move. So you're able to catch one of them easily enough. So is your plan to soothe the disembodied scream?
Yeah.
So yeah, you get up to it, and as you approach, you hear it louder and louder. It's
Hello. Scream. It's okay. It's okay. I'm gonna fly right next to you until you feel better. Okay? Do you want to tell me why you're so... Are you scared or are you angry? Oh, yeah, so you're scared. Well, I'm a Blittle Leaguer. And I've got 3 of the other best Blittle Leaguers. I mean, we're all pretty good, but these are 3 of the best Blittle Leaguers around. And so, whatever is scaring you, we can take care of it, okay?
Wow.
So, I think that if the scream can be soothed, then inside the bag, there's probably some sort of mind.
Well, there's only one way to find out, Mindy.
It seems to me like the bag has a mind of its own. So I'm gonna go ahead and peek inside the bag with my mind, not with my eyes. And I'll see if there's anything useful in there.
Sure. Let's have you roll 2d6 plus weird.
Okay.
And I will let you, depending on what you get, ask questions from either tune in or read a bad situation.
Ooh. Okay. Ooh, how about an 8?
Okay, you can ask one question from either tune in or read a bad situation.
Okay. For tune in, what is it planning to do right now?
So this is what comes to you. You kind of open up your mind and kind of interact with the screams. And the thing that you realize when this happens is it's not just one scream. It's a collection of screams. And you extrapolate the fact that this is a storage facility, which meant that someone was just storing a bag of screams in here. And so all of the screams themselves are apparently trying to escape and return to whoever screamed the scream to begin with.
It sounds like a nice thing.
They just want to go home, everybody.
Oh, we can help with that.
Should we just open the bag then, Mindy?
I think that would be nice.
Yeah, what
do you
could
think,
possibly go
Ross?
wrong?
Just everybody cover
Sure.
your ears for safety.
Yeah.
Right, I'll hold the top and you can give it a good squeeze, love.
Oh, okay. I'm very good at squeezing.
And like working the bellows, you squeeze all of the screams out, and they waft through the air and dissipate into Boston.
Now
So-
a bunch of people can finally scream.
I also scream into the bag at when the last one goes away.
Oh, that's so nice of you. I'm going to scream into the bag too. That sounds like fun. Because otherwise the bag might be lonely and sad.
Oh, it's so yeah. That's
And
You
maybe
screams.
it'll trick whoever put it here thinking that they still have their screams.
You are so smart, Mindy. That is such a good idea.
Ah!
You have refilled the bag with fresh screams, and you cinch it up nice and tight. Yeah, but so okay, immediate threat handled, but the issue is, for whatever reason, the fortress storage building itself, which you've driven by this, Iris, you do business here. You have a locker here where you keep a lot of kind of awesome, like, fairy folk relics and things you've worked on. Your bottle collection is here. And so, you know what this place is advertised to be, which is the most secure building in Boston for the storage of antiques, valuables, and magical items. Mm-hmm. And unfortunately, its front door is wide open. And also, it has lifted off its foundation and teleported itself here. So you seem to have a mystery on your hands.
Uh-oh.
What?
Was there a basement? If it lifted off the foundations, does that mean that whatever was in the basement is now doesn't have a roof?
That's a good question.
That could be bad. I mean, I really like my magic racket. It's very cool. I've had it for a long time, but it's not a basement thing. Basement things can be a little more tricky.
Yeah.
Yeah. There is a basement, and
I thought so.
Flying over it. Iris and Darby, you take a look because both of you can fly in your respective ways. And yeah, the building's been yanked off of its foundation. And down there is, it's the thing that, none of you necessarily have tremendous expertise in finance and Boston real estate and rental properties, but everything down there is being kept down there because it's incredibly dangerous. Mm-hmm. That is to say, there's a collection of unseelie beasts, extraplanar horrors, demons, essentially things that there aren't any other place for, are being kept down there. And they are being kept in essentially protective cages of all shapes and sizes, while various Blaseball and other authorities kind of come and go to pick them up and bring them to sanctuaries where they can live peacefully, or banish them back to hell if they're from hell. So it's almost like a kind of an overnight holding cell for horrible monsters that could destroy Boston.
Oh.
The problem is, all of these various cells and containment devices, and you're kind of flying over them from the top and you can see down, they're all still intact. But the problem is, with the building ripped off, they've lost power, which means that the things inside are starting to try to claw their way out.
Oh, no.
Which means that you should probably find a way to reattach the building to its foundation before those monsters rip their way out of the cages and Boston experiences grand magical catastrophe.
Oh.
I have an idea.
What is it?
My idea is, so if this has all of the most dangerous creatures and the things that would be most dangerous for the city of Boston, then that means there must be street signs down here that we could use to make, like, javelins or something. Because one of the things that's the most dangerous in Boston is driving.
That's true.
Yeah, even I don't like driving in Boston.
So, obviously, find some street signs or posts or something. Then we could trap the monsters.
Yeah, get us some time so we can figure out the building.
I think I see a sign that says Congress Street down there.
Sure. So let's. I like this. I would say this is an act under pressure role. Essentially, you need to buy time because these monsters and demons and beasts are starting to claw their way out of containment, and you're not going to have the time to get into Fortress and figure out what's going on before they escape. So the best thing to do is confuse and confound them with street signs. So I'd say this is an act under pressure role. Iris, do you want to give it a shot?
Sure. because if we can just convince them that they can't get there from here, then we win.
People say Boston tweets are confusing. They are.
Oh dear. I did not make a good roll.
Uh-oh.
Sad for me. My roll is a 5.
Okay. So you kind of bank down into the basement itself between these giant, some of these things are these giant glass orbs that are holding ominous looking mists. Others of them are cages with just big grinning demons inside. And you're looking around, it's like, okay, there's got to be some emergency signage in here. Just to get them to confuse and go the wrong way around a roundabout and all of that.
It would work.
It would definitely work. Unfortunately, there is a sign. In fact, one sign on that Congress Street sign, it taped to it is a piece of paper that says, relocated the street signs to the upper floor. Sorry, had to clean alien and monster containment. Signed, Hal.
Hal.
Hal
That's
has
reasonable. You have
relocated
to
the
do that
signs.
sometimes.
Yeah, I'm not mad at Hal. I'm just
That's inconvenient.
yeah,
It's
so
just a
inconvenient.
problem.
So
something's cracking.
yes. Here's how mechanically this is going to work. You've got 3 strikes in terms of the countdown for the monsters to be released into Boston. Anytime there is a partial success, I will give you options, but one of them is take a strike.
Okay.
On the 3rd strike, monster containment breaks and you have a war downtown.
So 3 strikes and they're out.
3 strikes and they're out. So you need to figure out the mystery of the fortress before you get that 3rd strike.
Oh, great.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Huddle up, everyone. Huddle up.
Huddle up. Hey, Zlobs, you still have that freaky eyeball, right?
The one on the foot? No, the one in my eye.
The
Yeah.
one in your head.
Yeah, I have a one that can see electronic circuits.
Do you think that maybe there is you could find where we need to get a power source to reinstall the electric barrier over their head?
Yeah, I could.
Okay, Zlobs. Courtesy of your sister, you have an eyeball that can track electrical patterns and electrical energy. So you activate it by making that particular face. So let's have you roll 2d6 plus sharp to read a bad situation.
We got an 11.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah.
You can, Zlobs, ask 3 questions from read a bad situation.
Great. I would like to know, how is this place powered?
This place, well, here's the thing. The fortress storage building has an independent power grid. The top of it's covered in solar panels. It's got a microfusion generator on one of the floors. This thing is meant to, it even cycles its own water. This thing is meant to be an autonomous storage facility. The problem is not the power. The problem is the fact that something yanked its power source with the building and dropped it here. And so you're trying to figure out, okay, well, the best way to do it would be somehow to move this building back. And you're like, all right, is there something powerful enough to do that? However, you look and you kind of see the building in X-ray, and one of the rooms is pulsing with more power than the microfusion generator. It is, in fact, so bright that it hurts your eyes to look at it.
Ow. Okay,
so there is something in here that is kicking off an absolute ton of power. That might be the thing to take a look at.
Okay.
You have 2 more questions.
What's the best way in?
Well, the best way in is through the front door.
Makes sense.
Yep. However, in the spirit of the question, I'm going to tell you the great fun game of Fortress Storage, which is this.
Games on games on games.
Fortress Storage doesn't supply their own locks when you rent a space. The people that rent each storage locker or storage room must furnish their own locks, and all of the locks are different. Iris, for example, what is the lock that you use on your space?
The lock that I use on my space is late 18th century German lock with multiple sliding pieces, keys, and fiddly bits.
Yeah. There are locks in here that are magical in nature, angelic in nature, ancient, beautiful artifacts.
Mm-hmm.
So the best way in is through the front door. The best way through is you're going to have to pick the largest and strangest collection of locks that exist on the East Coast.
Are the dangers we haven't noticed yet?
We can do it.
I'm just going to explode them. That's my tactic.
Danger you haven't noticed yet is, well, some of the locks may have been damaged in the giant move.
Oh,
meaning some of the things being kept in here are now roaming the halls.
Okay, well,
some of them are friendly.
Yeah, they're probably it's probably an even wash.
Zubs, why don't I come with
just
you?
want to play.
Yeah,
And then if any of them aren't friendly, maybe I can make them be friendly.
Yeah, I'm not going in alone. You are all coming with me, please.
Okay.
And so you all grit your teeth and steady yourselves and walk into Fortress Storage. You know where you need to go. It's on an upper floor. When this thing moved, it dropped. And so you walk about halfway through the first floor, and a lot of you see these locks on all these various storage facilities. Some of them are ancient, some of them are new, some of them are super cheap and came from Home Depot. But a lot of them are works of art in and of themselves. Unfortunately, you get about halfway through and part of the ceiling collapsed, meaning you're going to have to break your way through one of the storage doors and try to crawl up through the roof.
It's like we're in a maze. It's like a real maze.
Oh, I'm
so
having a great
excited.
time.
This is so much fun.
So there is a the door closest to the collapse is it's this great big lock, like almost cartoonishly large lock, and in point of fact, it's made of painted wood. It's not even made of metal. But on it says Friendship Lock Company.
Oh,
That's nice.
We're all friends. I wonder if we all just touch it together, it'll probably open.
Okay.
That's a great idea, Darby. Let's roll 2d6 plus sharp.
I love how we all just were like, oh yeah, obviously.
Yeah,
because we're 10.
Oh, and because their roll was a 10.
That is obviously the way to get through this.
Yeah.
We're all friends here. Only friends should open it. And so Darby, as a scholar of the human condition, you reach out and everyone else does. And the lock gently slides open and you undo the latch and walk your way in here.
Thank you, Darby.
Thank you.
Thank you, friends.
Thank you, friendship.
This is a room, and I mean a whole. It's not a big room, but the entire room, top to bottom, is full of carpets, rolled up and very nice. They're all sleeved. Oh, they're designed, and you can't see all of the carpet because they're rolled up, but the designs are beautiful. They're of various sizes. There are little notes on all of them saying where they're from.
Wow.
Whoever owns this storage room loves really high-end carpeting.
Wow, nice.
Who wants to run up to the top of the carpet mountain and roll down with me?
And after a couple of joyful tumbles down Carpet Mountain, which is, and some of these are high pile too, so this is very nice.
Yeah,
but eventually
pile.
you scramble up to the top and through force of will and burning swords and a well-placed grenade, you're able to kind of wrench an air vent open and you pop up to the second floor.
That's easy.
Things are things are a lot stranger up here.
Oh.
A couple of the actually, chat, it's up to you. Hey, chat, what are things that could be trying to escape from a magical storage facility that was dropped from the sky recently?
Well, that comes in. I have so much rug burn.
That was so fun.
I know, but I have so much rug burn.
Oh, Slav.
That's okay.
So I see one in that's particularly interesting to me. There are a number of things in here kind of roaming the halls, banging against doors, including a shocking number of oily spiders.
Oh.
Essentially like a jar of them rolled out of an open door.
Oh.
And they're trying to sort out, as spiders, how to unscrew the top of the jar from the inside. They are working together remarkably well. But the thing here that's probably the most jarring is that wandering the halls is a horse with a frog head and human arms for legs.
Hello.
Hello.
Yeah.
The spider is that had it.
Okay, Slobs, you in a feat of problem solving, you toss the oily spiders at the giant horse frog.
Slobs, don't upset him.
So let's have you roll 2d6 plus tough to kick some butt.
7.
A partial success.
Yes.
So here's how it's going to work. The partial success is you're going to scare the frog horse with human hands for feet back into its stable in here, and you'll be able to kind of lock it back in so that it doesn't hurt itself or other people. The partial success is this: you're going to have to either A, deal with a lot of oily spiders that will attack you, or B, take strike 1.
Spiders.
Yeah, I'll take this.
All right, so you hurl the jar of oily spiders at the frog horse. The horse rears up and screams "No!" which you don't. Oh, you're not happy that it can speak in human language, and it kind of gallops / slaps its way back into a stable, and with its frog head closes the door itself.
Come back. Okay.
The problem is there are now spiders everywhere, and they are both oily and hungry.
Hungry for what?
They're all over me. Oh no! Oh no! Oh no!
They are hungry, and you are all meat.
I'm super fast. I can just grab them all and put them back in the jar.
Oh, I'm so smart.
That sounds pretty good. So let's have you roll to. I'm gonna say this is really more cool than kicking butt. This is just a whole lot of speed. So I'm going to have you roll 2d6 plus cool, and I'll give you +1 because you happen to be incredibly fast.
I better roll really good. All right, that's a 7. So
already,
then my +1 is good.
Gets you to an 8.
Plus an 8. Okay.
So the now you've all seen Iris pitch, and they are fast.
Yeah,
like
it's amazing.
They are fast.
Yeah.
Not only are the balls they throw fast, but they're fast on the bases. They're fast fielding. They're fast, as at least one of you knows, in a pizza eating contest.
Oh yeah.
But Iris is also really fast at putting oily spiders back into jars. They move like a blur up and down the hallway. The partial success aspect of this is this. I'm going to give you a choice. Essentially, there is another puzzle door you will have to get through because of structural damage here, or you take strike 1.
Puzzle door. Puzzles are fun.
This is what a great choice.
Puzzles.
Let's do the puzzle.
Right.
Oh, you seem to have a lot of faith in how whimsical these doors are.
Whimsy could practically be my middle name.
So as Iris is moving like lightning and grabbing these spiders, literally picking them off your face as they're starting to kind of chew through you. By the way, you all take 1 harm. Because you're trying to get them all, and Iris is just boop, 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 boop.
Thank you.
The problem is, by the time all of this is done, the building kind of lurches to the side, and and kind of one of the ceiling panels falls out, and a bundle of electrical wires comes out, meaning the road to the stairwell is now blocked off.
Okay.
Meaning you're gonna have to go through a door.
Huh.
Zlobs.
Hi, my name's Zlobs.
2d6 flat.
Okay, we got a 7.
Okay. Then the choice is yours. Do you want this door to reveal something to you specifically, or do you want this door to risk harm to you and your friends?
Can it just be harm to me?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I'll take that.
There's a door here, and there's a handle on it.
I open the handle.
All right. You grab the handle, and it's not like a knob. It's really a handle with like a latch, and you press down on it. And the second you do, you start to pull. This door is covered in numbers that have been etched into it. Beautiful, like Gothic font.
Nerd door.
Can I look?
You can, Mindy. This door has, every number from 1 to 10, kind of at all strange angles.
Wow.
Zlobs, you hold the latch down, and Mindy, you're watching. The number 10 lights up.
Ooh.
The number 9 lights up.
Ah.
The door begins shaking. The number 8 lights up.
8.
7.
What do all these numbers have in common?
Zlobs, you hear the sound of gears activating within the door.
Oh, good. That's how doors open.
6.
6. Okay. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Darby, are you
5.
keeping track of
Yeah,
these?
I'm keeping track.
Gotta be a puzzle. Okay, we have a 5 now.
4.
What do these all have in common? 4. Okay.
The handle is getting awfully warm.
Okay. My dad has prepared me for this. 3. 10, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3.
2.
So 3 must be 2. Okay. They must all fit together. How do these numbers fit together?
1.
I gotta know this. My dad and I do puzzles all the time.
Mindy, back up.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3,
Mindy,
2,
back
1.
up.
Oh, it's like a countdown.
What do you want to do right this second, Zlobs?
Brace.
0. The shaking stops. The grinding stops. The handle calms down. The door swings open.
I go through the door.
Yeah. If you took your hand off the door, that would have been a problem.
Well, that
It's testing our bravery or something.
Good.
that wasn't much of a puzzle. Those numbers were just counting.
Yeah, I don't count.
All right, let's go, everybody.
Yeah, and you walk into now this one's interesting. There is this room there's a lot of boxes in here, a lot of cardboard boxes stacked up. A lot of them just say tax records, stretching back to like the 30s.
Whoa.
But also there are things hanging from the wall. Actually, I'm kind of burying the lead. In the middle of this small little room is a beautiful marble statue of a woman holding a book and a spear. She is wearing kind of this armor where it has this like winged helmet, like spear held aloft, like book against her shoulder. This is a museum quality statue just sitting in here. So there's that. And around that are a collection of absolutely exquisite ancient weaponry.
I'm gonna tap the statue.
Mm-hmm.
Solid marble.
Whoa.
I am gonna draw my flaming sword. And
So what about the tax records?
I can control my flame slops, you know that. And walk up to the statue.
Do you all feel like you know her?
Yeah, she looks very familiar. I really like her pointed ears.
I'm gonna lift up my sword to her, but in like a respectful way.
Yeah. Why does she look familiar?
She looks just like there's this book of mythology at Mindy's house called like folklore of
Forgotten Worlds.
Yeah, that's what it is. Folklore of Forgotten Worlds.
Oh.
And she looks just like the illustration of a woman in one of those stories. I think her name was Samantha Samantha Berrywill, I think.
Yeah. Samantha Berrywill is fairy folk. Famous fairy folk. Iris, what is Samantha Berrywill famous for?
Berrywill is, you know how like berry brambles get everywhere and they can make a big tangle and you can't get through it and it's a problem. And Samantha Berrywill defended all kinds of stuff. So I think she's probably supposed to be taking care of these papers and maybe the whole building, if it's maybe that's her job. I mean, I know that that's what she's famous for, is for taking care of things, because she's also a berry briar. She's also kind of those rose bushes that you find everywhere that just grow and grow and are thorny. Yeah. So that's Samantha Berrywill. I think she's here to protect the building.
Even like the drapery on this statue has like little elegant, beautiful thorns and berries. Yeah.
This is an exceptionally well-carved statue.
Maybe she can help us, even.
I think she'd be really annoyed that the building isn't where it's supposed to be.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We better ask really nicely.
Mm-hmm. Ouch, 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 ouch.
Sharp edges.
Ms. Berrywill? Samantha? Why don't I try asking?
Did that statue just lean towards us and put his fingers together? What?
The statue at present looks entirely inert.
Okay, good.
Just a solid marble statue. Mindy, because you are naturally attuned to this kind of thing, you are fairly sure that something is listening as you speak.
Okay. Thank you for your service here in the fortress building. I'm not sure if you've noticed, but the building has been compromised. and moved, in fact. And a lot of monsters are threatening to escape, and we can handle it because we are Blittle Leaguers. But while we search for the power source, it might be good to have someone keep those monsters in line in the basement if you're not too busy. And if you are, we can certainly handle it. Love, Mindy Mathers.
Oh, that was really poetic.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Mindy, 2d6 plus charm.
Oh no. Charm. 3.
Oh no.
Oh no.
That's pretty good.
Oh no.
That's pretty good. That's really good. That's a good number. 3.
Not bad for charm.
Not bad for
me.
charm.
Okay. You've got options.
Oh.
Okay, that's great.
The statue, option 1, the statue believes that you are malign agents and its job is to kill you.
Oh no.
Or 2, you get a strike.
I cannot stand to have Samantha upset with me.
Oh no.
So I will take a strike and I will have her trust that we can handle it.
Mm-hmm.
You make this impassioned plea, Mindy, to the statue, which remains unmoving, its eyes set on the horizon.
Yes.
And you're kind of going through it, and you're pleading your case, and you're explaining. And the camera kind of drifts down through the twisted ruins of the first floor and across I-93 to the now roofless basement of the fortress storage. A mess of tendrils is starting to rend open a gate.
Tendrils.
Oh, that's not good.
Meanwhile,
Are they
back
friendship
on
tendrils?
no. Meanwhile, back on floor 2, you pry open a service door and kind of all bow and thank the benevolence of the fairy spirit and walk through a service hallway up to the 3rd floor.
I leave a slice of pizza with the statue.
That was nice.
Yeah.
She thinks we can handle it.
Oh, she's probably right. She has
That's
faith in
true.
us.
Yeah, she always.
Yeah, I believe in us. This is
Yeah,
going really
I believe in
well.
us too. We're doing fine.
I'm only rug burnt and bit by spiders.
Yeah, we're already on floor 2.
Yeah. That's almost 3.
Floor 3, second to last floor. The top floor is where this thing is, this power source.
Oh.
We're already on floor 3.
No, we're clipping along.
We're doing just fine.
Zlob's 2d6 plus sharp.
Why is it always me? Okay, you want a sharp roll? I got you one, Johns. 5.
The lock on this door couldn't be more than $5. But stamped into the metal of the combination lock.
Oh no! 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 Is it no? No!
No.
Who is it?
Chincoteague, Virginia. You Sunman.
Oh.
I need to get my pizza from downstairs.
Dogs, no, you let
Slabs?
them
No. You have to stay here. We can do it. We can do it.
You don't want to take a gift
Have
back
faith in
from the
us.
fairy folk.
Yeah. I heard that's like a curse thing.
Also
Yeah, okay.
true.
I'm just gonna lay down.
Slobs.
Yeah.
I can just. It's that lock isn't so bad. It looks like we could just rip it off. I could try to pry it open.
Yeah, you can use your big knife.
Pick the lock. I could use
Sure.
my big knife.
Mm-hmm. That sounds great.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And we can even put it back on our way out.
Yeah.
I don't care.
No
Maybe
umpires
I can
need to
get it
know.
open in a way that doesn't break it.
It's a combination lock, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
What if I just?
Can I just try and
you could
pick
try
it open?
Yeah, but if I also could try to just work the combinations. There's lots of combinations of numbers. How many different numbers are in
Yeah,
this?
you could.
Oh, yes, this is just speed try everyone.
I kind of want to see that.
Oh, wait.
Mindy and I could work
Iris.
together, though. That's the good idea.
That's a great idea. Iris, wait, it is a number combination. And those numbers they're numbers that somebody set. They're numbers that somebody thought of. Somebody that I have met before.
Oh,
yes, what a good idea. You're so smart.
Can I go looking for the numbers in the mind of Umpire Sunman?
Yeah. Okay. You all know Umpire Sunman. He is a Blittle League umpire. He wears a suit of power armor like all of the other umpires. But unlike the other umpires, and Mindy, you know this, Umpire Sunman, for whatever reason, wants Zlobs to die. So that connection, that thing you know about Umpire Sunman's essence, could allow you to reach out your mind and touch his mind.
And I also touched a different universe Sunman's mind. But maybe they're similar enough that I can still sort of remember the kind of the trace of it. You know?
Yeah. 2d6 plus weird.
Okay. Seven?
Okay.
7's better than 3.
So the partial success. I'm going to give you 3 things. 2 of them are true. You narrow it down to 1 number. Whatever is behind this door is perfectly safe. You do not get a strike.
Okay. I am going to make up my mind about this post haste. I have a quick question. Do I have a strong enough connection with the mind of Umpire Sunman to take a peek for anything else while I'm considering my choices?
Oh, Mindy, of course you do.
Do I happen to see a Sunman secret?
Yeah. So let's see what kind of Sunman secret it is. Let's do one more roll. Okay. Just pure 2d6, nothing on it. Let's let fate tell us what kind of secret this is.
Pure 2d6. Slobs? Hello?
Slobs melted.
I rolled a 4. A 4.
You see through his eyes a memory. He gets off a bus. It's balmy out, that Virginia air. It's spring, but it already feels like summer. It's heavy air. He slaps a bug on the back of his neck. He walks off the bus and walks through the fence to the umpires training facility in Chincoteague, Virginia. A couple of umpires in big, heavy metal power armor look at him and the other recruits as they walk through the gate towards their destiny, and they nod. He's got all of his belongings in a duffel bag. That duffel bag is smaller than everybody else's. In point of fact, you know this because, well, you're in his mind and you remember this very clearly. The bag would be even smaller if he didn't just stuff it with newspaper. He's got almost nothing to his name. He steps between two buildings. He breaks away from the line of other fresh umpire recruits and kneels down in a little walkway between two of the dorm buildings and puts down his bag. He unzips it and fishes through all of the newspaper and pulls out a little red book. He unwraps it and leafs through a lot of scrawled notes, things that he has only bits and pieces of. And then he flips to the middle of the book, a well-worn page. In there is a little picture of Zlob's mother. And he holds it, and he looks at it, and he nods. And he puts it back in the book. And he puts that only thing he owns, that book, back in the bag, zips it up, gets up, and starts walking in. And back to the present.
I know the combination.
Mm-hmm.
Hey.
And we do not get a strike.
Okay.
Zlobs, you want to open that door?
No.
All right.
Slobs, do you want a granola bar?
Yeah.
Okay. Darby, do you have a granola bar?
Yeah.
Thank you. Oh, thank goodness. Okay. Iris, are you ready?
Yeah.
I put in the combination.
Okay. So when you put the combination in, and then do we open the door really fast? Maybe.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Just all together,
just
really fast. Try to
really fast.
try to get a jump on it.
Yeah. Okay. Let's do it.
Okay.
You're all kind of arms out, ready to go. You throw open the door. And in here are two things. One, half a suit of umpire's power armor hanging from chains.
Oh dear.
Looks like Sunman was doing some renovations on it. And the only other thing in here is a scrapbook. It's red.
All right. Well, I see. Do I see a door leading out of here?
No, but you're pretty sure you could blast one out if you get that suit working. Which, by the way, that's the dangerous thing. The suit senses movement. It does not have legs. It's just an upper torso hanging on chains. But the red sensor lights pop on in its big diver's bell helmet.
But we could steer it from the bottom. If it's just hanging there and it has no legs, that means we could get in there and move it around directionally, and maybe it would have laser eyes, and maybe they would blast something, but we would be underneath it and be steering it, so we wouldn't get blasted.
And I can get on. I can go on the top, on the ceiling. To manage the chains like a puppeteer.
Okay, let's all go underneath it right now.
Okay, and I'll grab the red scrapbook and put it in my backpack to be safe.
Mindy,
you're so smart.
Yeah, I guess.
For safety, I grab the scrapbook on my way.
You do.
All right. What now, Iris?
Yeah, who wants to pop into this thing and try to use it?
I will totally
Iris,
do that.
You got this, Iris.
Yeah.
All right, Iris. I'm going to say, let's have this be act under pressure. 2d6 plus cool.
Oh my, 3 cool checks in a row.
A lot of this stuff requires a very, very steady hand.
I don't know what that is. Yeah. Okay, that's a 10.
All right. So, Iris, like lightning, you kind of sprint up under it, pop in, get your arms into it, and this suit is one of the older ones.
Puppet me, Darby. Puppet me.
Okay.
Yeah, Darby, you get under Iris and prop them up, and you're able to get your arms in. Now, thankfully, this is one of the older suits that's not genetically coded to the umpire. So, woo, just a light comes on. State username.
Umpire assignment.
Username accepted. All right.
Good job.
Structurally, you're pretty sure, Iris, you know what wall to blow up to lead to a service stairwell. So let's roll to kick some butt.
Me or somebody else?
Oh, I'll let you roll it. 2d6 plus tough.
Okay. 7.
Okay.
What's the stat? Let's see, which stat is that?
Tough.
2d6. Tough. I have a +1. I think I have a +1 for tough. Is that true?
Mm-hmm.
Weird. Nope, I don't. Okay, so it's just a 7.
Just a flat 7. So you kind of spin this thing around and kind of target the right wall here. The partial success is this. You are either going to blow up too much stuff or take strike 2. Too much stuff will cause harm and structurally damage the building.
We're on the 3rd floor, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And we have to get to the 5th floor.
4th.
And we've had 1 strike. We have to get to the 4th floor.
No,
so we have to only get up 1 more story.
Yeah.
And we've taken 1 strike. I don't know. What do you think?
I'm sure 1 strike couldn't hurt.
Yeah, 1 strike couldn't hurt.
Yeah, we just make sure we
Plus
hit some balls foul.
Don't get the 3rd strike. Okay, we're gonna take the strike.
Okay.
It takes a while to get the targeting data together, and all of you kind of back up, and you're either all tucked into the suit together or hiding in a doorway.
Yeah.
Camera pans down and across I-93 to the monster storage in the basement. There is this enormous bird cage made of unworked cold iron. And in it, on a bar, like it was a giant parrot, is a demon dripping in inky black oil. It is thin
not
and
good.
spindly and has a giant grin on its face. And the more it focuses through its one giant eye, the more the cold iron of the bars start to twist and rot and rust. Boom! Back to the third floor. Everybody get down! And boom, the back half of this room explodes.
Nice shot, Iris.
Oh, that was perfect.
I go over back to the door of the now totally empty room with the back blown off of it, and I carefully put the lock back and reattach it.
No harm, no foul.
You'll never know.
And you crawl up through kind of the rubble to the fourth floor. You find yourself inside a storage unit.
Oh, we already made it. Perfect.
Huh.
Huh.
Bottles.
Yeah.
Lots and lots and lots of bottles.
I love bottles.
These are cool bottles.
Whoever has this room has built-in shelving, which you're not sure if they're allowed to do that or not. But there's built-in shelving, almost like if it's an alchemist's lab. Tons and tons of vials and bottles. Many of them empty, many of them only seemingly empty, some of them full of liquids, some of them full of steams and vapors.
I open one.
Zlobs, don't
Sure.
drop anything.
Zlobs, why don't you go ahead and give me 2d6 plus... Oh, this is going to be weird. 2d6 plus weird, please.
Oh, I don't think I ever did a weird roll before. All right, you get a 7.
All right, that's pretty good. So you you pull this open, and a lemon tree starts growing out of it. Very fast.
No. Oh.
I definitely get caught up in the tree.
You do. It's starting to press you up into the ceiling. So this lemon tree is going to grow until it fills the room. Your goal is to get out of the room before that happens.
Are there lemons?
Oh, yeah, they're starting to come into bloom right now. You're looking at the back of the door. There is no lock on it in here. All that you can see are a pair of copper wires sticking out of the door a couple of inches.
I grab one, then the other.
Yeah.
Sure. Nothing.
I'm out of ideas.
Okay. 2 copper wires.
Yeah. I mean, let's stick lemons on them.
Oh.
That'll make You can. It'll do the thing. It'll do the thing. We did it in science in first grade. Remember, Mindy? We had the library thing, and like the science is your world thing.
Yeah.
But if you stick a lemon
Science
on
is your world. I love those movies.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah. The Science is Your World Day at the library. We
Science is
lit
your
up a little light
world.
bulb with a lemon.
Right. Yeah. You can do it with potato too, but it doesn't work as well.
Okay, worth a shot. Can I pick a lemon?
You pick a lemon.
I cut the lemon with my big knife.
You got a big knife. You cut the lemon with it.
I put the wires into the lemon.
You hear a tingle of electricity, and the door slides open on a pressure release.
Just like in Science is Your World.
Science is your world.
Science is your world. You all scream as you trundle out.
Of like everyday life. Oh, we're trundling. I get to trundle. I've always wanted to trundle.
Oh,
We trundle through the door. We trundle as a team.
Yeah.
And yeah, the lemon tree kind of stretches its vines and bark out and eventually fills up the whole room, and you hear the metal walls kind of buckle as it stops.
Before we go, I'm gonna grab a lemon and so I can give it to Morgan when she gets back.
Mm-hmm.
Before we go, I'm gonna yell at the tree, "Science is your world!"
Yeah, Darby, you're looking at this lemon, and you're like, yeah, this is good. Yeah, Morgan will like this.
Yeah.
Cut to Disneyland. Morgan and her mother and her stepfather Ryan, Goofy Ryan, are waiting in line for a teacup ride. Ryan is doubled over laughing hysterically. This is going to be ride number 4 on the teacups. He wants to get to 10 before lunch.
Oh, God.
Whereas Morgan is holding a literal case of ice cream because Ryan said that you need some ice cream while you wait. And Morgan looks up at the sky and says, well, I suppose I'm not in danger right now. Cut back to the fortress storage building. And all of you are kind of trundling down the hall
as a team.
At this point, you're close enough to the power source, Slobs, that you can hear it as well as see it. And as you run, space is starting to get a little funky in here. You find yourself running. It's like 3 or 4 doors, 3 or 4 doors down, but you're running for what seems to be about 10 minutes, and you don't think you're actually getting closer. You do come across a man with a laceration of some kind along his hairline. He looks dizzy. In his hand are a pair of bolt cutters, and he's just kind of laying and staring off into the middle distance.
Hello?
Hey, what you doing here?
Okay.
Oh, Little Leaguers.
Mm-hmm.
None of this is my fault. I was just following the invoice schedule.
Are you Hal?
Yes.
Hi, Hal.
Hi, Hal.
Hi.
Hal, what happened?
Okay, so at the end of every month, I look through the ledger and see who hasn't paid their storage bills. And if they're delinquent for 3 months, I send them a note. And if they don't respond in a week, I go and I cut the lock. And
How?
Armistice Pierce was late, and we called. And so I cut the lock. And that was a real tough one, too. And then I did, and then things got weird, and I'm pretty sure we're in the middle of a highway.
Yeah, we are. It's very weird. You're right about that.
Who is Armistice Pierce?
He stands himself up. You're all. It's almost like you're in a bouncy castle right now. Like the relative distance of the walls, the relative length of the hallway is kind of expanding and contracting. He pulls out his ledger book, and Mindy hands it to you. Armistice Pierce is the first entry in here. The very first. And it is before, in point of fact, this fortress storage building was here. Armistice Pierce has been using the predecessor of the fortress storage company since the 1880s. Whoever Armistice Pierce is, she is delinquent on her bill.
Can I take down just like in my mind. Can I make sure to remember all of the information, the contact information for Armistice Pierce?
Yeah. There is no phone number. It is simply an address on Harvlard's campus.
Fantastic. I will remember the address.
Yeah, and then you kind of help Hal to his feet, and he's apologizing. I didn't know that the door would open, the thing would happen. It's every time I try to get close to it, I get very dizzy.
Well, then I go into it.
All right, Slobs. 2d6 plus tough.
Yeah, it seems like a reasonable thing to do. We got a 6.
All right. The difference between what you roll and 10 is the amount of harm you take.
Yeah, it's 4 minus 2. 2.
You start walking forward, and this all happens pretty quickly. You find yourself to be incredibly thirsty. Then you find yourself to be incredibly tired. And then you have trouble staying upright. And then you feel like your lungs are starting to fill with fluid.
Slobs, leave the room.
Slobs.
Go.
Yeah, Slobs falls over.
I'm gonna grab Slobs and drag them back to where we are. Yeah.
Wow.
I'm gonna pull out my sword and walk up to wherever this sort of energy starts and hit it to try to cast out any evil that might be causing us.
Sure. All right. Let's go ahead and do 2d6 plus tough.
4.
Okay. So the thing that you learn is that this is not an evil entity. This thing is in fact purely a device of science, whatever that means. And so you walk forward and kind of with a big heavy swing kind of start wiping out. It's almost like you're in a magnetic field or some kind of energy, like you're feeling it buffeting you, and you start getting short of breath. You take 4 harm.
Oh no, that's a lot of harm.
Is it like a Faraday cage? Are we? I look around the room. If there's like some other, like if we're having come into the room, did we actually accidentally come inside some other thing that's kind of making this?
Interestingly, you're still even in the hallway. This room's at the end of the hall, but you are fast enough that you're willing to sprint to the hallway and look in. And you do, just back and forth.
What did it look like?
Yeah, Iris, what does it look like?
Oh goodness. All right. So it makes you sick to your stomach in the middle of the room, and it's kind of woozy. It's like if you have one of those balls where you tap it and all the energy goes to your fingers, but it's in the center of the room. And I think that Armistice Pierce didn't want anybody taking what's inside it. I don't know. I mean, I had to go really fast. Okay. It just, but I think that there's like, as you get closer to it, you feel icky, and like Slobs fell down and like barfed water.
Okay.
I didn't even drink water. I just barfed it out. It was gross.
I'm going to try something.
If your lungs filled up with fluid, you barfed out something.
Yeah, I know. I didn't put it in there.
All right, Mindy, what do you want to do?
So that's So it's magic is what I think.
Okay. So, it's funny. It seems like science and it kind of seems like magic. And that reminds me of Nana, because my Nana always says that magic is just a type of science with different rules. Anyway, what I'm thinking is, when Zlobs looked at it, Zlobs got sick. And when Iris looked at it, the first thing they said is they started to feel sick to their stomach. And so when I close my eyes, I see different things than when I have them open. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to try to approach the room and not look in it at all. I'll close my eyes and I'll see if maybe I don't feel sick that way. And if I see anything different, looking like the way Nana taught me with her magic science.
2d6 plus sharp.
Six.
Can we help?
You close your eyes and start walking forward. And you feel it, and you know where it is. It's kicking off so much reality-bending energy that you are aware of where you are. But with your eyes closed, it's not giving you that strange sense of vertigo. You make it up into the room. Your fingernails start growing really fast. And you are pretty sure you are very, very close to it. Because you failed, I will tell you what it is, but it's a bad time. This is a gravitational displacement device. This is a kind of a mix of science and magic that, frankly, is outlawed. The idea of unsanctioned teleportation. Yeah, this is why it's a failure. You reach into your back pocket. You cannot you don't necessarily want to do this, but you reach into your back pocket and pull out Nana Mathers's book. And you know with certainty that if you open it up to the first page, all of these problems will be solved. If you do not open it up to the first page, you will take 4 harm, and you will have to figure out something else. But the choice is yours.
4 harm will make me unstable.
You could also take strike 3.
Strike 3 to unleash all the monsters onto Boston? I open the first page of Nana's book.
And with a vote of 23-1, Armistice Pierce is hereby removed from the Leviathan. Unsanctioned research is not what we are about. Armistice Pierce's experiments will be kept safe. Armistice will be banished. The voice command to shut it down is future.
Future.
Future?
Mr. Mathers is sitting on the hood of the math wagon, eating a hot dog and doing some math. He looks up at the fortress building, sees it shimmer and wobble, and then fly immediately about a couple hundred feet that way and reappear on its foundation. In the basement, a swarm of little cubes on wheels covered in electrical prods start zipping through the maze of cages and glass, zapping and prodding the things that were almost escaping, until such time as they they get back into their cages. And then those very same cubes start healing and knitting together all of the protective barriers. The lights come on, and Boston is saved.
Mindy, are you okay?
Good job, Mindy.
Nana said to open the book when I was ready.
I guess you're ready now?
It must have been scary, but you did it. I'm proud of you.
You saved everything.
Yeah, good job. All I gotta do is open a book. I need to take a lesson from that one.
I mean, if you opened a book sometimes, Lobs, it might, you might save things too.
Iris, you acquire your tennis racket.
That's great. This was way more fun than the pinecone hunt.
Yeah,
we can still make it, right?
Find the gravity well. That was pretty fun.
That was fun. Yeah, we can still make it, I think. Now that it's back, traffic should be starting moving soon. What do you think?
Yeah.
Are you okay? Do you still want to go do the pinecone hunt?
Yeah.
We could be
Iris,
on the same team.
Do you want to ride in the math wagon? That's what we
I
call my
really
dad's
like
car.
That would be really fun. Thank you.
Find the Pine Cone is a little different this year, because instead of one big pine cone, the Fey energy powered tennis racket breaks it up into many pine cones, and the combined Begonias Sunflowers teams run around, and instead of find the pine cone, there's a lot of pass the pine cone, juggle the pine cone, stack the pine cone, and ponder the pine cone while eating lots and lots of pizza.
So much pizza.
Oh, this is nothing like the pizza mountain that we demolished.
We
you
eaters in that.
you all have you all have a great night, and all of you, Begonias and Sunflowers, are looking forward very much to tomorrow's game. Jess Who, first base person of the Somerville Sunflowers, is taking a break from Find the Pine Cone to slowly work her way through a slice of pizza.
It's so cute.
Everyone's kind of backpacks and stuff are in a pile, and one of them, Mindy's, kind of tumbles from the top of the pile and hits the ground and spills open. And that red notebook tumbles out. That leather strap that binds its come loose. And it opens up, and the cool Braintree breeze starts blowing pages all around. Jess panics, and wanting to try real hard, she flutters over there and starts gathering up the pages. She's doing her best to do it with her eyes closed because it's not her book. And she ends up getting them into a stack and stuffing them into your bag. But there's one kind of Polaroid that's like rolling across the field, and she flies after it and grabs it and kind of traps it under one of her little feet. And she looks down on it and is very confused. It's a picture of Zlobs, but he is 1 year older than he is right now.